Good evening. So I figured I got about, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour until my kid wakes up, and I gotta cook dinner. So I'll let her watch him, and I'll practice my wheelies. I still think they should put a stupid traffic light in here. Just because. Alright, so from what I understand, wheelie basics are as follows. One, make sure that your tires, most importantly your rear tires, are warm. That way they get better traction, blah blah blah. Make sure that you have an open area that's not heavily traveled and private, permission, all of that. But as far as the actual wheelie itself is concerned, as I understand it, for a first gear clutch wheelie. Now, power wheelie, I've heard several hundred people say that there's really no point in a power wheelie. Basically, you take the throttle, you open it wide out, and just take off. And right at the end of the power band, probably around 10,000 revs at first gear, the front end will start to become light, and as you sit back on the bike, it'll start to lift up. Like I said, at that point you're probably going 60, 70 miles an hour minimum. So you're gonna be out of your gear already. Clutch wheelie is a lot safer, and it's a lot easier as far as I'm concerned. Basically, you're gonna be going in first gear. Not fast. You're going to be just idling pretty much, going 5, maybe 10 miles an hour. You'll probably be doing around 2,000 or 3,000 revs. What you're going to do is you're going to pull your clutch with one finger. And they say to do it with one finger, pretty much because it's easier to control one finger than it is to synchronize and control 2 fingers. You want a very quick motion with your clutch hand. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze in you're gonna squeeze in the clutch, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna be bringing the revs up, and what you're gonna do is just slam it down to like 3/4, almost full throttle. So you're gonna be going, and you're gonna go and just pop it like that. And at about 7,000 to 8,000 revs, as you're throttling, as soon as the needle hits around 7,000 to 8,000 revs, what you're going to do with your clutch hand is just let it slide right off the tip of your finger, so that way it shoots outward. It's going to do one of those kind of things. You can't. It's not like you're trying to get the bike moving in first gear where you're slipping the clutch, you're slowly opening it. You want to pop the clutch. You want to let it snap out. That way the rear tire engages and goes underneath the bike. So basically you're not lifting the bike as much as the rear tire is pushing through the bike and going underneath it, because it's going quicker than the front is. So you want to sit back on your bike, more towards the passenger seat if you have one, but further away from the gas tank than you would be if you're cornering and whatnot. You want to sit back on the bike. You want to have your arms kind of about 3/4 tight. You don't want to have them too tight. You don't want to be stiff-armed. You want to be a little loose. And as you hit that 7,000 rev mark and you pop the clutch, you're going to want to pull back on the handlebars, kind of like if you're doing a chin-up. So it's going to pop, and then you're going to pull your arms back and help the bike get up a little bit. So let's see if there's any cars over on this side of the parking lot. Yeah, there are. We could do a couple. Alright, so you got it like 8-10 miles an hour, 2,000 revs, and you're gonna gun it and then flick the clutch out. The first couple of times you do it, you're definitely gonna get your nuts in your mouth. It's gonna be like you're going over the top on a roller coaster, which is my least favorite thing to do. But it's a lot more controlled environment here. Always cover your back brake with your foot. Usually you want to have your foot all the way back on the peg. When you're popping wheelies, you want to cover your back brake. If you ever go too high, if your nose comes up too quickly and you go past 12 o'clock or past your balance point, or even if you just want to set her down, you release the throttle, that'll bring you down. But if you're coming up way too high, all you got to do is just tap on your back brake, and that'll stop your back wheel from spinning, and that'll bring your front end down. It'll bring it down a lot harder than you would if you were to release the throttle. So again, Just get it flat around here. Cover your brake. Wind it up a little bit. Yeah, see, I slipped it more than popping it. You really gotta flick it outward. You really gotta just let the grip just snap right out, and just let the wheel engage. That was about 6,500 RPMs. Let's see if we hit 7. Nah, see, I slipped it instead of popping it. There you go. So that's your basic sit-down wheelie practice maneuver. This is as far as I've gotten so far. Well, actually, that's not true. I actually rode one out in first gear, sitting down for, I don't know, 20, 30 feet. So yippee for me. But the hard part is feeling comfortable with that balance point of the bike coming up on you. But it's definitely there. And it's definitely obtainable. It's not one of those things that's too difficult for the average rider. It is a basic move, just like an endo is. An endo is a braking maneuver. This is a clutch and acceleration maneuver. But it is pretty basic. What you do want to remember is to always cover your back brake. To always keep your arms not rigid. You don't want to have them locked out, because then you'll be pushing the bike forward instead of letting it come up. But definitely start off at your lower RPMs. Now this is a 250 Ninja, so I have to get it up to anywhere between 6,000 and 7,000 revs, depending on how open the throttle is. If I have the throttle full open, I could get the bike up at 5,500, 6,000 revs. If I have it 3/4 open, it'll take me to about 7,000 revs, maybe 7,500 to get up. I don't mean to get up 6 or 7 inches. I mean to get up a foot or two. If you're riding 1,000 or a 1,200 or even a 650 or 750 or 700, you're gonna have to play with that. So start off in the lower revs. Start off at your 4,000 or 5,000. And then work your way up and see how it starts to get up on you. It'll start getting up a little bit to where the body's coming off of the wheels. You'll feel the shocks get light. And after a while, you'll start to realize that, you're actually hitting the ground. The wheel is actually coming back down. So I'm going to do an eyeball type video. So let me set up the camera over there and just practice. And maybe hope the other one comes out. Be safe.